Hi, this is Aman Verma, and during this session, I will walk you through Kanban and Scrumban methodologies. I will walk you through about what Kanban and Scrumban is, and what are the basic principles and rules of Kanban, why and in what scenarios it is used, and how it is different from Scrum. So let's get started with Kanban first. Unlike Scrum, Kanban doesn't wait for 2 weeks or 4 weeks of time for the deliverables and releases the deliverables as and when any small amount of work is complete and deliverable to follow continuous flow of delivery. Also, we don't have any Scrum ceremonies in Kanban. For example, sprint planning, review, and retrospective meetings, etc. Rather, Kanban focuses on a visual project management method that was originated from a manufacturing sector, particularly from the Toyota production system. Other than visualization, it focuses on promoting continuous flow of delivery and optimizing the overall efficiency of the processes. Due to its flexibility and adaptability, Kanban has gained a huge popularity in software development methodologies. And here are the core principles of Kanban as listed. And I will walk you through all of these principles in detail. And let's begin with visualize the workflow. So here is a sample visual on how teams may represent their task workflow, starting from the items to be picked for the work and all the way till closing phase. So let's look at all the columns and stages that I have created here, and you may keep less or more columns or stages for your projects as per need. And to begin with backlog, it contains all the items which are identified but not yet ready for the development. And to-do list represents the tasks that are ready to be picked up by developers, for example. And to-do items must have all the finalized requirements from the product owner or the business representatives. And in progress items are those which are actively being worked upon. And there could be various stages in progressing tasks, for example, development, code review, testing, and demo or review. For example, all the items in development column or stage are the items which are picked by the developers from to-do items, and they just place those items in their development column. And that's how when the particular development item is complete, they might move it to code review. And some subject matter expert, for example, technical architect or team lead, or maybe some other person from the team can review the code. And once they approve the code, the developers or the code reviewer itself can move the item to testing, wherein quality assurance team will validate the item as per acceptance criteria and as per the requirements which have been defined. And once approved, if there is no bugs or issues in the work item, then it can be moved to demo or review. So once a demo has been presented successfully, the stakeholders like product owner or client might approve it, and it can be marked for the further deliverables. For example, they can mark it as done so that the development team or deployment team can pick this item for the deployment or release. And once the work item which is done, once it is deployed or released, it can be marked as closed. So all in all of this information and the Kanban board itself is placed at a common location. And team holds regular meetings to discuss the flow of work and any issue that they encounter. And everyone involved in the project, including all the stakeholders, has access to this board so that it ensures transparency and understanding of the team's progress. So it's very important from the visualization of the workflow. So let's move on to the another principle of Kanban, which is limiting the work in progress items and managing the workflow. And it will be the team who will decide to set work in progress limits as per their capacity to manage the flow of items more effectively. Basis team size, they may agree on the following the limits. For example, team can pick or keep only maximum of 8 tasks to do in to do stage, and in progress items for development, maximum of 5 tasks only can be allowed, as the development team has only 5 developers in the team. Or another example could be for in progress items for testing. It could be only maximum of 3 tasks that will be allowed, as the quality assurance team has only 2 team members with them. So likewise, the task limits will help team focus on a very important and priority tasks, and it will also help in improving efficiency and quality of deliverables. And also, it's very important to manage the workflow so that it ensures that the work items move smoothly from one stage to another. Work is pulled into the next stage only when there is capacity based on work in progress limits, and it should not be pushed into the system forcefully. Also, the work items must be picked basis work priority order, wherein team and project managers are also keeping an eye on the changing requirements and changing priorities, so that the needed adjustments must be made on time. So let's move on to the other very important principle of Kanban. Here, team must make the policies very clear in detail, leaving no room for confusion or any doubt. The team should explicitly define the policies for each column or workflow stage. It's like strict rules which are agreed mutually within the team to make sure of maintaining high professionalism and team standards. Starting from the backlog, the tasks should be written in a user story format. For example, here you can read on, as a website visitor, I want to sign up for the newsletter so that I can receive updates and promotions from the company. So in this example, the user story is simple and clearly conveys who the user is. For example, website visitor is the user, and what they want to do, they want to sign up for the newsletter, and why? To receive updates and promotions. Similarly, here a product owner must prioritize tasks based on business needs, value, and complexity. For to do only tasks that are well defined and have all necessary information should be moved to do column or stage. Or for to do stage, we can also consider that before starting work on any new task, developers must attend a brief planning discussion with the product owner to clarify any questions or concerns. Or for example, for in progress stage, developers can pull tasks from the backlog up to the work in progress limits, and they cannot pick more tasks in parallel compared to the defined limits. So developers should work on tasks in priority order and should avoid cherry picking the tasks. So all of such rules can be mutually agreed between the team for relevant stages or workflow stages. And similarly, for in progress items, tasks should not stay in this column or stage for more than a certain time, and the team must collaborate to resolve any delays. Similarly, for a review stage, we can consider that code must be thoroughly tested and meet the definition of done before moving to this stage. And a peer review is mandatory before moving the task to the done column. We can also consider that the reviewer must provide approval or a constructive feedback, and the developer must address any issues found. Similarly, for done stage, the product owner conducts a final review to ensure the task meets acceptance criteria. And once approved, only after the task is considered done and can be deployed. So the feedback is more important here, or we must record the approvals. So once it is approved and done, and then only it can be deployed or can be released. So all of this helps the team to ensure that everyone is on the same page regarding how the tasks are handled and what is exactly expected at each stage. This clearly reduces misunderstandings, this minimizes mistaken handoffs, and it also improves overall efficiency. And as with time, the team will be more experienced and will identify more areas for improvement. Therefore, they can always update their policies accordingly for for example, for continuously enhancing and improving their workflow for better quality deliverables. Let's move on to another core principle of Kanban, which is continuous improvement. Here, leaders must encourage their teams to review their processes regularly, identify the areas for improvement, and implement changes to enhance efficiency and effectiveness. How we can achieve is through track and measure, which is you can use matrices and data to monitor the flow of work, and cycle times, lead times, and any other relevant performance indicators, so that this data will help us identify areas for improvement. Another thing that we can do is improve incrementally. Regularly review the Kanban system with the team and stakeholders to identify areas for improvement. Implement the changes one at a time and assess their impact. And encourage collaboration. Foster collaboration and communication among team members to ensure the smooth flow of work and to address any impediments promptly. And adapt as needed. Kanban is flexible and can be adapted to suit any specific needs of your project or organization. As circumstances changes, be ready to adjust your Kanban system accordingly. So now that we know what is Kanban, the question arises, why do we need it if we also have Scrum in place? The problem with Scrum is that the deliverables are time boxed. For example, if a sprint is of 3 weeks time duration, then all the work items of that sprint has to wait till last day of the sprint to get deployed or delivered together with the other committed items or features of the sprint. And it happens even if the feature was completed, even if it is completed during the first week of the sprint. And what if we are getting frequent changing requirements, or priority of the work items is getting changed more often within the sprint itself? For example, what happens in maintenance and support projects? Certainly, the Scrum is not a solution here, because if we allow frequent changes in the requirements or priorities within the sprint, then burn down chart or sprint itself will never meet its goal, and the whole purpose of Scrum will fail. However, Kanban is the answer and solution to all these situations. And as we can continuously deliver through Kanban, the continuous flow of tasks in Kanban encourages the steady delivery of completed work items, which can lead to a faster project delivery and a better responsiveness to customer needs and time to market. And Kanban board has an awesome visualization of workflow, wherein stakeholders can have a pictorial view of any item status on the Kanban board and can know the exact stage and work left for the work items and delivery in the Kanban board. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic where we can discuss more if we have any more options other than the Kanban. Yes, and it is Scrumban. You may have heard about Scrumban, and it is actually a combination of Scrum and Kanban, wherein team decides to choose the best features from Scrum as well to best suit the project requirements. For example, team might fully follow Kanban methodology and includes few ceremonies from Scrum as an add-on. For example, team may include daily stand-up meetings or reserve a meeting for work review and retrospective meetings once or twice a month or as per project demand or maybe more features from Scrum as per need. Here, the purpose is to best support the project deliverables through the hybrid approach that combines principles and practices from both Scrum and Kanban methodologies, and to include the best processes for best or better quality deliverables, as this hybrid approach aims to leverage the strengths of both frameworks to optimize the software development processes and improve the team productivity. And moving on, so that was all from Kanban and Scrumban perspective. You may follow me on LinkedIn and YouTube, wherein I have a handle with Beginners Are Winners for YouTube. And to get more updates on latest technology and trends and project and program management areas, please do follow me. Thank you.